I heard that. I've already given a copy to a couple of branch people this morning of the document that I said I would explain later on. Actually, about a year and a half ago, while I was doing some research for something that had to do with AAUW, and I don't even remember what it was right now, I discovered that in my library, Indiana State University, there was something in special collections called History of the Indiana Division of the American Association of University Women. So I trotted up to special collections to see what this was. And it was this little pamphlet, sort of sadly bound together after all of these years. And it was basically a convention program from 1949, but the first half of it was the history of the Indiana Division from 1923 to 1949. It was in such sad shape, again, just because it had been around for so long, and I don't even know how we ended up with it, that I couldn't even photocopy it. But there was no copyright. I was smiling at Penny there. The only thing it said was it was published by the Indiana Division. So I had the president of the Indiana AAUW sign off that she gave permission to digitize it. And of course there are many digital projects going on these days, not just in libraries and everything, but what I have, and I want to make sure at least one person, at least everybody from the different branches, I gave Valpo one already and somebody else, make sure over here in my display area there are some sample photographs from the booklet, which is 88 pages long, but then I have the internet address so you can go and see the entire booklet. And those of you that are fairly new to AAUW, there's not a confusion, but there's sort of what came first, the chicken or the egg, in terms of what was actually called the Indiana Division before it became the state AAUW and then the different branches, and so that's outlined there. Plus, one of the nice things, and again, you'll be sure you take a look at it, there are photographs of those first presidents up through 1949. And I started doing some research just very quickly to see what some of those women had done and what they had been. And there's a lot of information out there tucked here and there. So, like I said, this one is on the little acrylic stand, and so make sure that you all get a copy. If I don't have a copy, if it run out, let me know and I'll give you this. But again, will be highlighting this in an upcoming issue of the bulletin too.
Is it on the state website? Is there a link on the state website?
Not yet. We just got it done this week, and I just got the pages. They're actually JPEGs, for those of you who know what those are, as opposed to text pages. So I was putting this together yesterday very quickly. So, but it will be there soon. So.
Just a second, I want to share something. Oh, also the link to the whole 88-page thing is at the bottom here. Yes.
This is absolutely amazing, because I know in every branch, if you're like Indy, we talk about what are we going to do with our records. And here's a classic, practically disintegrated item that these people, our four mothers, put together, and Marsha's rescued for us into this modern form, because you always have to be going to the next electronic form before the old one disintegrates like paper. So
yeah, and I'm sure some of these little booklets are maybe tucked away in the box.
Yes, the box. Yes.
And the box.
Don't give up.
The box might be in your public library, because that's where a lot of boxes end up. The state library has state archives, but again, they're just sitting there. So again, if there are records like this where you know a librarian who has access to digitization things in your area, don't be surprised if they would let you digitize those and host them literally for yourselves.
And I can't leave the podium without reading this to you, because this is juicy. This is too good. It's not just dry history. Here's from this book. The work of all members was to seek out fertile spots for new branches, to plant the seed and to cultivate those tender perennials. Where else could you get language like that? And then it said, that one scarcely could understand why there was such inertia and resistance toward the little group of blue stockings with the formidable nomenclature of AAUW. So, blue stockings we were at that time. Thank you so
Sure.
much.
Yeah, and again, if you are from a branch that was in existence before 1949, there is a little bit of branch history there, so it might be interesting to see if there's something you don't know or something you want to disagree with that we can correct on the website, so we can kind of continue that booklet on into things.
At the same time that Marsha was finding this in her library, I found in a bunch of things that Barb Cannon gave to me, a book of historic principles of AAUW, starting from the very beginning, and it was resolutions from the very beginning. It's very interesting to look at it across time and see how pertinent we were to what was going on. In the Vietnam War period, there was a lot of anti-violence, anti-war. It's real interesting, so I'll work with Marsha, maybe we can get that on the website as well for you to see. At this point, I'd like to ask Phyllis Laszlo to come to the podium.